Hello there, guys. Welcome back to another episode of E&Ftv. Today, I've got a very good friend of mine joining me today, David Byrne, who's Chief Growth Officer at HotelTime Solutions. David, how are you doing, sir?
Good, very good, Tom. Back at it. It's January. The
Yep.
strategizing for 26 is over, and now it's time to put it into place. So I'm actually really happy to be back into it. We were just talking before we hit the go button
Yeah.
how busy we both are. It's great.
It's honestly, I was usually from our side anyway, we have like a bit of a lull coming back because everybody's sort of just getting the
Yeah,
diaries together. They're not quite sure of where they're at. But from the moment I got back into the office, I think it was from the Tuesday, we had interviews flying around, we had offers coming in. And again, we'd sort of pipelined that from last year. Things had just paused, but it was just great that so many things had been moving. And
yeah,
you're not the only one that said the same thing when we caught up, how busy you guys are, because everyone I've spoken to so far anyway is flat out. And
I
it's,
know.
with all the crap news we've had recently over the last few months and whatever else, it's actually really nice to just hear people are busy, people are engaged, and people are getting going. So
Yeah,
I naively maybe, but I have high hopes for this year for everybody. I really do,
yeah.
mate. I really do.
Same, same.
Um, so before we get into the episode, guys, I just want to say a massive thank you to tuning in to E&F TV this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We bring you content every single week in all areas of commercial and operations within the hospitality and travel world. And we love bringing you fantastic content with great guests just like David. So please don't forget, click that subscribe button, join the community. And of course, don't forget, if you haven't already, download our M&E white paper all around advancing the way in terms of M&E optimization. This is the first edition, and then we've got the second one launching at the Global Revenue Forum at the end of this month. So don't forget, if you haven't already and you're in that world, download the white paper. It's an award-winning white paper now, which we're really proud of. So, David, without further ado, let's get into it, sir.
Let's
So,
do it.
for anyone that doesn't or hasn't seen the previous episode, you did come on, I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago.
2 years ago.
Um, and I think it was when, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was when you just joined
Yeah,
and you we were talking about all the things that you were sort of looking to do and where things were going and the exciting sort of journey ahead that you had ahead of you.
yeah,
What I'd love to do with this one really is have a bit of a catch up. So what's been happening? What's exciting?
yeah.
And of course, towards the end of the episode, I'd love to hear about what's coming over the next 12 to 18 months, let's say. So I suppose first off, since you were last on the show, tell us about growth. Tell us about the growth, not just in the UK, but globally, because I know you guys have had so much going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 2 years ago, Tom. I think next month that we spoke, and
Mm.
it's just been a roller coaster. And I think I remember on that podcast saying something around that I never thought I'd end up in a property management system company, and here I am, right? 2 years later. Thankfully, I don't touch the product, right? I leave that to the experts. But so growth is in my title, right? So we'll talk about that. I think
Mm.
it has been a whirlwind. It's been an absolute pleasure to work, first of all, for Hotel Time. It's a great
Sure.
bunch of people here, right?
Yeah.
Um, our office is Prague based, and Central Europe are just going from strength to strength with sales, basically, right? They are
Yeah.
growing, and everything is going fantastic. The international territories have been really where I've been more involved in, okay? And
Yes.
we've learned a lot over the last couple of years in terms of the differences between the different territories, the different trends, the partnerships, the integrations required for each
Mm.
market, and etc. Thankfully, I've got a great bunch of people I'm working along with, mainly our CEO and Philip, our commercial director, and further afield, there's great heads of departments who have supported me in terms of trying to help the company to go in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
So we're going into 2026, we're very defined in the markets that we are planning on scaling up in this year. And the reason for that is that we've had some changes of processes to make in our international territories. Okay, so
Right.
that would involve people, that would involve positions, but becoming a more streamlined, sales focused model without losing our culture. Okay,
Right.
because that's one of the things that I'm very aware of, is that when you start streamlining and becoming much more sales focused, you can lose the culture aspect, which we don't want to do, because we have a fantastic culture here at Hotel
Yeah.
Time. People like to work here, they want to work here, and we'll touch on the recruitment in a sec. But I think we seem to have an overall happy bunch of people who have adopted to the new processes that we've put in. Our HQ is much more engaged in our international territories now, and our regional offices. And 2026 is kind of that year of execution now. We need to go, we need to grow, and we need to sign more hotels. That's basically
Yeah.
what we're here to do, right?
Yeah.
And support and implement them. And that's been the kind of umbrella of growth that's happened and we are going from strength to strength in terms of the revenue of growth, but we want to scale up.
Yeah. Okay. And I suppose with that, you sort of mentioned a moment ago with regards to recruitment. So in terms of people, I mean, I know that you guys have been growing
Yeah.
across the globe. Do you want to take us through a bit about what you've been doing on that side of things, how the team has grown, and what that's going to enable you guys to do? Of course, I know the main goal is to get more hotels on. Of course it is. And to do that, you need more people out there
Yeah.
in these hotels, talking to people, presenting, and so on. So what's been the focus on that front?
Well, it's trying. First of all, it's trying to get the balance right. So it's one department rubs off the other. So if we're selling more, we need more back office staff.
Cost.
We need
Yeah.
more integrators. We need more developers and so forth. So, from a HQ perspective, we have positions open where we're trying to fill
Okay.
people to do those roles. Out where I'm more involved in, it's been primarily salespeople that we've been trying
Yes.
to recruit.
Of
And
course.
get local people on the ground. That's what our territories tell us to do. That's what the hotels tell us to do. So from a support and implementation perspective, we need local people, and also from sales.
Yes.
So in terms of numbers, we've actually grown 20% in terms of new staff.
Wow.
We've lost a few along the way, but we've grown 20% in terms of our staff across all the different territories. So we've got some really, really good qualified people in.
Great.
Our latest recruit is our sales executive. I don't know if you've heard of a company called Edwards and Finn who helped us massively in our search for our second sales exec, which I told you straight off the bat we're struggling. Tom, help,
Yeah.
and straight away it's been a pleasure, and you do deserve a plug. It's been a pleasure to work with you and the team, because straight away you got who we
Appreciate
were
that,
looking
mate.
for. It was very important to us, the cultural fit too.
Yes.
And we just released the information on LinkedIn in January. Janice Polson is
Yes.
part
Yeah.
of the team, and she's great to work with. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Good. No, I wasn't expecting that, of course, but no, I appreciate it. And no, she was the absolute star from the moment we started talking to her. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad that that all worked out. But
yeah,
as you said, the key element there, and I picked up on this, was your clients or the territory is telling you, we want local people, we want people that understand us or understand this territory, understand this market. And that is
yeah,
so integral to how sales is moving now, where rather than before it was very much sort of effectively just direct sales, just drilling down, whereas now it's much more about understanding
yeah.
and having open, honest conversations about where they are now and how your product is going to be able to help. And that relationship starts from day one, right? That's a big part of Hotel Time Solutions and who you guys are.
Yeah, and I knew that from Jan, our CEO. I knew him before I joined. I knew from him that that's the way he focused on stuff. Is that it's not just our salespeople, our support implementation, our people that make the hotel feel they're the only client,
Yeah,
and that's so
yeah, yeah.
important. And our salespeople, you touched on it. You're not looking for a salesperson. You're looking for a consultant to some degree
Yes.
in the property management system sector, right? Um, and that's someone who's going to enter into a relationship, understand the hotel's needs, go into a long journey with the property. And I think we have that part of it really, really good here.
Yeah.
And the hotel wants to work with the company, so we're going to continue to focus on that point.
Fantastic. And again, not just on the people side, but if we look at So HotelTime Solutions, like many tech companies, they're constantly developing, constantly looking at their tech solutions, constantly looking at what their clients need or want from a product. And it's about sort of understanding that from a client perspective as well. Can you take us through, let's say, some key highlights from a client, but also a product perspective
Yeah.
over, since we last caught up? Because there's been so much go on with you guys.
There has. We focus on what we're good at. We tend not to go near stuff that other companies are experts in. We'll do the integrations and
Sure.
partner with those guys, right? We're a cloud-based PMS with
Mm.
really good modules. We focused a lot on improving our spa module. We've actually just give it a plug as well. We just won the #1 spa in the Hotel Tech Awards, and that's thanks.
Hey, well done.
Exactly. And that's thanks to the team in Prague. That's
Mm.
the team that you don't see. They're not the people you see on LinkedIn. They're the
Yeah.
people that are doing this work in the background, and we'll just flag it and win these awards, and that's fantastic. For me, the highlight over the last couple of years is you exactly said what I was going to say, is that we tend to try and solve a problem that exists that we have experienced, right? And I'm not just
Mm.
saying this for the podcast. I experienced something last night that we developed last year, and that's we
Okay.
have a product called a 3-in-1 Vento, right, which is a handheld terminal for the
Okay.
waiter or waitress in the hotel in the F&B section. And last night I was in a restaurant, and the waiter came with the terminal to take the order, or sorry, take the payment. He took the order first, then came back with the payment terminal to take payment, and then disappeared, and then came back with the receipt.
Okay.
Which is just a little bit painful at the end, right? And
Sure.
it's so common. And we just developed the 3-in-1 terminal. The waiter or waitress will come, take the payment, take the order, the receipt is there. It all happens in one quick, smooth go. And
Right.
for me, that was something that I've gone through, and I thought that's magic.
Yeah.
And that's what we did quite very, very well last year.
Oh, amazing. So again, it's looking at the real world
Yeah,
problems or issues or challenges that your clients are facing. I think that, and again, I don't think this is maybe, or I guess it's less of a challenge now. I think the tech companies have they've had a history of maybe having solutions that hoteliers just aren't prioritizing, I guess. They're just, we don't need that. What we need is to sort this thing out first. And it's about having that relationship with your clients to, as I said before, and as you sort of very eloquently put, it's much more of a consultancy sort of relationship rather than we have a product, you got to,
yeah,
you're going to buy it. That's where our relationship, or at least with the salesperson, ends. But
yeah,
again, in any good sales role, just like recruitment, we're constantly in contact with clients. And it
yeah,
doesn't always need to be a sale. It could just be a catch up. How things going? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? And
yeah,
if your salespeople are continuously building that relationship, that's where you're always going to win.
yeah,
And again, as you said as well, it's about honing in on what you do really, really well, rather than trying to branch out and all, because
yeah.
that can just turn into an absolute chaotic mess, I think, at times.
It can. And, there's a serious lack of education in all markets on this. So the
Mm,
hotels don't
yeah,
know. It's not their fault. There are
sure.
so many hotel tech companies. We've seen a huge amount of acquisitions in the last couple of years where you've got companies coming together, some
Hmm.
for the sake of it, some it's more strategic. And all of a sudden, it's a more of a minefield from the hotel. There's one
Yeah,
company's trying to sell them a lot of products. Other companies are trying to focus on what they're very good at, and it's about understanding the hotel's pain points, and not just selling your product, but recommend a partner that where you feel their
yeah,
product would benefit.
yeah.
And that's what we need to do more of, and I think that's what we're very focused on from an integrations perspective, and our partnership model, which I look after on a commercial level. So
Yeah,
that's really important for us. Really important.
amazing. And that actually sort of brings me on to the next part that I wanted to sort of talk about. And this is an interesting one because you guys will naturally have exposure to multiple territories, multiple markets. What are you seeing in terms of trends? I'd love to sort of pick your brain in
Yeah,
terms of trends that you're seeing within the various markets or anything key that you're experiencing at the moment.
yeah. So when I was at ITB last
Yeah.
year, and we're about to go there again in March. I could not get over the amount of revenue management system companies that had emerged in, and they're there on a global scale in Berlin.
Sure.
And so we have one trend that stands out is the demand for revenue management in hotels. And I think that's been adopted very quickly over the last couple of years. And when you see these companies emerging, we kind of had two necessary integrations that we need to do as a PMS. One is the channel manager, and the second is now the revenue management system.
Right.
And it's me that's put a lot of pressure on our teams over the last year to start and complete revenue management system integrations, which have taken complete priority. And the team have been stretched. And thanks to Denisa and her team, they've responded really well. And we're closing in on the last steps of these global integrations now. But we have to do it. We have to do it as it becomes a blocker. And the hotels, whether they like it or not, I think they're going that route, and they need the two products talking to each other. So that's a massive trend. We're going to ITB. We're exhibiting at that, and I'll touch on that again. But we're going there with the expectation of a more of an explosion in that kind of sector. So I don't see that stopping.
Do you, just out of interest, in terms of that trend with regards to the revenue management system integration as a necessity, are there certain territories that you're seeing that in more? Because of course, if we looked at the UK, again, I'm assuming here, and I could be wrong, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagine that on the integration side for the UK, that they're already very well established on the RMS side of things. So what territories are you seeing this trend with, and how has this emerged?
Southeast Asia.
Thailand
specifically. Okay, we've got 7 or 8 people based in Bangkok, so we spend a lot of time out there in the last 12, 24 months. Huge focus on it there. It really is. And we exhibited at No Vacancy Bangkok in November, which was their first time to exhibit there. Traditionally, they've just done it in Australia. And the amount of RMSs exhibiting in that one hall was unbelievable. And I spoke to them all. We know them all. We had really good conversations, and I really just wanted to pick their brains in terms of their focus in Southeast Asia, so what countries, and they're going for Thailand. There's a huge emergence there. Then you can turn it down to South Africa, where Janice is, and not so much, right? It's starting to bubble there. It's just starting to come up. So we're starting to see it in all of them, some more than others. And you're 100% right. UK, Ireland, I think we are ahead of the curve there. And we've got a lot of RMSs here across the two countries. But I think globally it's catching on very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And sorry, you mentioned it a moment ago, but in terms of, so you said ITB, events for you guys throughout this year, because again, you've got so much going on and so much to shout about. So what events have you got going on this year? Where can people, I guess, find you and the team and hear more about HotelTime Solutions?
So one of our most important ones of the year is next month, and that's Showtel here in Ireland. Okay, so that's the Irish Hotel Federation's yearly show. We exhibited as HotelTime for the first time last year, myself and David Byrne. He's the account manager. Yeah, we had great fun. It's a great show. Okay, so you get a lot of the GMs and hotel people going down to Killarney. It's in Killarney again. It's a great spot. But there's lots going on. A lot of exhibitors, a lot of hotels, a lot of education and content being delivered down there as well. So we're really looking forward to that. And Ireland is a very, very category A market for us. We had an amazing year with what's called the TMR collection, otherwise known as Windward Hotels, which has a portfolio of roughly between 18 and 20. Yeah, we went through a due diligence process there with Stephen Williams and the team, and we were awarded the first pilot, which we're going through at the moment here in Ireland. So we are absolutely delighted. So it's all hands on deck, and we are getting our integrations done in the background for that. So with Adrian Hanna at Right Revenue, she's there, and we're making that.
Big shout out, Adrian. Big shout out, Adrian.
Absolutely. So we're going through that, so we're absolutely delighted with it. Following Showtel, for the first time, we're exhibiting at ITB in Berlin. We're going to give that a go and see how that works. That's a very, very important show for us. And then the rest of it is very regional. We've
Hmm.
got some events happening first week of February in Cape Town and Johannesburg.
Very cool.
So we'll meet Janice in person for the first time, and we have the WTM down there as well in April. So there's lots going on. Lots.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's so somebody told me about No Vacancy coming up in London. Will you
Yeah.
guys be at No Vacancy in London as well?
It's clashing. So we won't. It's
Oh,
clashing with
right, okay.
something. Yeah, it's
I would
clashing
have
with our.
loved to have seen you there as well.
Yeah, it's actually clashing with our Irish show.
Oh, right, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Right,
So we
okay.
put our eggs into one basket or the other.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it for next year.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll give priority to Showtale this year.
Yeah. Well, it makes
Uh,
sense. As you said, it's such a key area for you guys. And
it
everything
is.
you've got going on over there, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
no-brainer, right?
it is. It is. Yeah, exactly. And then Independent Hotel Show we'll do it again at the end of the year in London,
Hmm.
and the World Travel Market will be walking the floor. So
Yeah.
we're looking forward to this year. We've lots going on.
Well, I was going to say that brings me on to my last question, really, is with everything that we've discussed today,
Yeah,
since you were last on, I
yeah,
think it's important that we do another one in maybe another year's time.
yeah.
But what have you guys got on? What's exciting? What's developing over the next, let's say, 12 months? What should we be looking out for from you guys?
Well, I think we'll have plenty of announcements coming with our new integrations. We had
Yes.
huge news in December. We just took our first investment into the company.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you very much. So that was launched in December publicly, and that in itself will lead to some exciting news this year,
Okay.
which I can't delve into yet, and we'll probably hand the microphone to our CEO for that one. And but in terms of product, what I love is that we're uh, going to give a soft launch, I think, in February to our AI powered manager app, which is something that's
Okay.
really, really cool. So basically, it's an AI powered app, as the title says, that
Yeah.
managers and CEOs around the hotel property can use on their mobile. So rather than having to run back to the PC and check what they need to, everything is on the app. So I've just jotted down a few notes because it is new. We've got revenues and trends, future pickup and forecast insights, room status, KPIs, etc., and the overall revenue, and they can check that on the go. And
Right.
that's connected and integrated into the property management system. So that's something that's really, really cool. That's about
Yeah,
to be launched.
exciting. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. No, amazing. And
yeah,
and again, I suppose with Hotel Time Solutions, like many other tech solutions, we're going to see another big year from you guys in terms of development across the board, but
yeah,
also in terms of growth. I imagine that growth spurt has far from ended. We're going to see more growth from a hotel acquisition perspective, and therefore, as you said before, that will ripple on to more salespeople, more back office people, more DevOps people, and
yeah,
so on. Right. So
yeah,
long may that continue, and I cannot wait to catch up with you again in
yeah.
12 months' time. Let's not leave it 2 years.
No,
Let's do 12 months. Let's see where things are going.
yeah,
And again, if anyone is interested about learning about what Hotel Time Solutions might be able to do for them,
yeah.
no matter what sort of territory they're in currently, is it better, should they just get in touch? Shall I put your details down below?
Exactly. We're super active on LinkedIn. It's our go-to,
Good.
and
Okay,
I
great.
think all our details are there. We like to shout here. About relevant content, and we do a fair bit of posting there, so you'll catch us there in our details. But I can leave mine anytime, no problem.
Amazing. So, guys, if you got to this far in the episode and you are interested to hear about what Hotel Time Solutions might be able to do for your hotel or group of hotels, I know that David and his team would love to hear from you. So, what I will do in the description down below, I will put David's details. And as I say, if you want to get in touch with them, I know that it would be very pleased to hear from you. David, I want to say a quick thank you to you for taking the time out of your incredibly busy schedule. I know how busy you are, for taking some time to talk to me today. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. And as I say, it's a shame it's been 2 years, but I'm so happy we finally got to this point where we're catching up.
We did. Thanks for having me, Tom. And I think, and even as two companies, we'll continue to work together. I'm really enjoying this.
Absolutely.
We'll speak again in 12 months. All right.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
So,
And guys, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. We really, really do appreciate it. And as I said at the start of the episode, don't forget to click that subscribe button, join the community. If you have any thoughts on this episode, you want to add anything to this conversation, please do comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. So thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.